way toward the back of your mat, and we'll start in a mountain pose. So finding your way to a comfortable standing position, just seeing that the feet are underneath the hips. If they're a little bit off, just trusting whatever feels right in your body. Keep a micro bend in the knees, just to not hyperextend the legs, so we're not putting too much pressure in the knees, just a micro bend. Inner thighs pulling in and up toward each other, starting to feel the legs fire up. And if you lift the toes, feel that the four corners of your feet are touching or making contact with the mat. Maybe feeling like the ball of your foot and your heel are coming toward each other as you grip each toe down to the mat one at a time. Let your tailbone reach down, let your navel pull in. Fingertips reaching down as the shoulder blades draw slightly together and down the back. Lifting toward the chin and chin falling slightly toward the heart. Back of the neck is long and the crown of the head is lifted. Once you're in your mountain pose, just allow the eyes to close. Connect with the breath. As you inhale, feel the energy drawing up through the soles of the feet. And as you exhale, feel the body settle into this position. Feel your head over your heart, over your hips, over your heels. Feel that sense of grounded and security through the soles of the feet. And feel that sense of lightness through the crown of the head. Inhale, sweep both arms up and over your head. Get really long here. Take some circles with the wrists, wiggle out the fingers. And permission today and every day to move however feels good. So if at any point you want to add a little dance or make this practice a little more fluid, feel free to do so. Or if at any point you feel like just coming into your child's pose or sitting on the mat or in Shavasana, feel free to do so. Let this be your time for yourself. My cues are just suggestions, so trusting what feels right in your body. Skipping over anything I suggest that just doesn't feel good. Let this practice feel good for you. Inhale, reach, get a little longer. Feel the bottom of the ribs separating from the hips, feeling the side bodies lengthening. And then exhale, cactus the arms, open up the heart, slight bend in the knees, and feel the shoulder blades and elbows coming closer together as the hands turn away from you. Or you can't see the upper part of me. Inhale, reach, palms face each other. And exhale, cactus the arms, palms face away. Inhale, reach. Exhale, open. Do two more. Inhale, reach, get long. Exhale, open up the heart. One more. Inhale. And exhale. This time, inhale, reach. Exhale, right arm drops down. Bend over to the right side of your mat. Feel that space now from the outside of your left foot, through the side body, through the armpit and the fingertips. But keep your length also in the right side of the body. So you're not crunching too much into this side. Lifting up, keeping the length in your body. Hips are shifting toward your left. Ribs tucking in, they might want to flare open, so tucking them back in, just keeping everything, if you look down at your ankles, keeping everything over the ankles. Inhale, getting longer. Exhale, reaching further. Two more breaths here. And then inhale, back up to center, reach up. Exhale, left arm down, bend over to the left. Maybe you crunch in a little bit just to start if that feels good. But then for the duration of the pose, finding the length and the left side of the body as well. Inhaling, getting longer in the spine and the body. Exhale, reaching further. Hips shifting over towards your right. And keeping this whole area, the whole pelvic area, the belly, keeping this area tight. Hold it. 2 more breaths. Inhale, get long. Exhale, reach. 1 more. Inhale, reach. And exhale. Inhale, back to center, reach up. Exhale, cactus the arms, open the heart. Inhale, reach. And exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, long spine. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees a lot here. You can grab the big toes with the peace fingers, bending the elbows out to the side. Just pull your torso a little closer to the thighs. Just focusing on lengthening the spine, space from your tailbone through the crown of the head. Maybe you find movement, maybe you rock a few times, or maybe you just ragdoll here and surrender. Trying to shift the weight more toward the balls of your feet. So if someone had a piece of paper, they could slide it underneath your heels. Making sure we're folding forward. Lifting your hips a little bit higher. Even if the knees are bent, you can lift the hips a little bit higher. Surrendering in the belly, surrendering in the face. Allow the forehead and the eyebrows to relax. Allow the jaw to hang heavy and the head to just dangle. Yes, dangle, no. Let it go here. Breathe into wherever you're feeling this the most. Maybe in your low back, maybe in your hamstrings. Even if the knees are bent, you can still feel this in the hamstrings. Maybe you're feeling this in the neck or the upper back. So wherever it is perfect. However this pose looks on you is perfect. Maybe you're up quite a bit higher. Wherever you are is exactly where you're supposed to be. Letting your eyes close. Take 3 big exhales. And then as you inhale, slowly start to roll yourself up to stand, rolling the shoulders back at the top, palms facing outward in your mountain pose. Let the blood settle for a moment. And then inhale, reach both arms up. Exhale, open the heart, cactus the arms. Inhale, reach. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, reaching up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach both arms up. Exhale, cactus the arms, open the heart. Inhale, reach. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, root to rise, reaching up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Pause for a moment here. Feel the heart beating into your thumbs and the thumbs feeding back into the heart. Breathing here. And then next inhale. Reach both arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, walk your hands forward. Come right into your downward facing dog. So you can take a peek at the hands and feel that they're shoulder distance apart. Pointers are facing forward. Pinky slightly out. And root down a little extra into the base of your pointer finger. Feeling how activating that point sends that energy up the arm. Micro bend in the elbows, shoulders rolling down the back slightly, and the biceps pulling in and up toward the ears. Gaze is between the feet. Lift your hips as high as you can. Bend the knees quite generously to start here. Just lifting your hips as high as you possibly can. Maybe stretching out the feet, bringing the heels more over the balls of the feet. And then, as always, permission to play. So maybe pedaling out the feet, maybe wiggling the hips, wiggling the head, changing your gaze, looking under each armpit. Feeling the hands rooting down in the base of the pointer, in the base of the pinky, the base of the thumb, and the heel of the hand as well. And then each of your fingertips. So everything really rooting down besides the palm of the hand. There's a slight lift in the palm, Hasta Bandha. And maybe the fingers themselves are kind of lifted, but the base and the pointers are rooting down. Or the base and the point and the tips of the fingers are rooting down. 2 more breaths here, letting your goal here be to lengthen the spine as much as possible. Lift your hips as high as you possibly can. And then inhale, roll your body forward like a wave, just coming into a plank position. Maybe adjusting the distance between the hands and the feet. And then in your plank, envision your toes and the heels of your hands coming in toward each other. Lift the back of the heart, hold the navel up to the spine, and feel the energy from reaching through your heels, through the back of your neck and the crown of the head. 2 breaths here. Long breaths. And then exhale, lift your hips back and up, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll yourself through to plank. Exhale, lift back and up, down dog. Inhale, forward, plank position. Exhale, back, down dog. Let's do 2 more. Inhale to your plank. Exhale to down dog. And 1 more on your own. Now inhale to plank. Maybe the knees come down here, bending the elbows alongside the ribs. Bring yourself in one piece down to your mat. Releasing the tops of the feet to the ground, rooting the pubic bone down to the ground, relaxing the glutes. Inhale, the shoulder blades draw together down the back, baby cobra. Gaze is right at the top of your mat, maybe a little bit ahead. Just keeping the neck and the spine long. Hands should be able to lift off here. And exhale, release. Keeping the elbows pulled in tight to the ribs. Lift the navel to the spine first, feeling the belly slightly lift. And then feel like you're pushing the ground away as you bring yourself up through a tabletop. Tuck your toes and lift your hips. Downward facing dog. So pedaling out the feet in down dog, letting some big exhales out. And then bend the knees, look up to the top of your mat and start to walk your feet up to meet your hands. You can move slowly, just landing in a halfway lift whenever you arrive. And exhale to a forward fold. We'll meet in a forward fold. Taking your time getting here. Taking at least one big exhale once you arrive. And then next inhale, slowly start to rise up to stand. And you can bring the arms up and over your head when you get up here. And exhale, hands to heart center. Settling for a moment here. Checking in, maybe setting an intention or checking in with what your original intention was. Reminding yourself why you're here right now, why you're taking this class. Inhale, raise both arms up. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Plant the hands down, step back to a plank. Move through any sort of vinyasa flow you'd like, so you can do exactly what we did before. Lower to the ground, take baby cobra. You can lower halfway, chaturanga dandasana. Inhale to an up dog. If you're an up dog, the belly is pulled in, supporting the spine, rooting down in the tops of the feet so much that the tops of the legs can hover. And same thing with the neck, it stays long. Rooting down into the corners of the hands. Then exhale, lift your hips, roll over the toes, downward facing dog. Few breaths here. Let it go, maybe sigh it out, maybe flutter the lips. And then next inhale, raise your right leg back and up. Feeling the right leg just an extension of your arms and spine. Keeping the hips square for now, reaching through the heel. And then pull that knee into the chest, shift your shoulders over wrists, let the foot come to the top of the mat, maybe using your right hand to assist you. You can adjust your stance maybe a little bit, maybe scooching your back leg back. Just feel the hips sinking forward and down, getting really nice stretch into your left hip flexor. Always option to have blocks here for a little extra height. And then rooting down into the left hand, bring your right arm out and up, coming into a lunge twist. And lifting up and out of your bottom wrist and shoulder. So actively reaching up, twisting from the navel, pulling the navel into the spine. Front knee stays over that front ankle. And lift the back of your back knee. So really actively straightening out the back leg. Breathing here. And then exhale, release that arm down, framing the front foot. Step your back foot in, warrior one legs. Inhale, rise up, warrior one. So right hips coming back, left hips coming forward, just so that they're even. You can put your hands there, maybe put the hands on the hips so you can really feel that they're even. That front knee is over the front ankle, four corners of both feet rooting down. Maybe the arms reach up, getting longer in the sides of the body. Settling the shoulders, tailbone reaching directly down. Feeling how that intensifies the stretch in the left hip flexor. And then starting to root down into your front foot, letting that action straighten out your front leg slowly. Hands can come to the hips as you inhale, heart lifts up towards the ceiling. And exhale, hinge at your hips to your pyramid. So option to just stay right here. You can leave the hands on the hips if this feels nice for you. Just keeping your right hip pulling back. Or option to bring your hands to blocks on either side of your front foot or to the floor. And always an option to adjust your stance. So if you're like this and your hips are coming unsquare to the front of your mat, then just widen your stance or shorten your stance or both. There's plenty of options here. You just want to make sure that the hips are staying square to each other. And you have the sensation of your right hip pulling back, just so that you feel the stretch from the hip through the back of the leg all the way through the heel. And you can lead with your heart here. This feels better, so you're feeling yourself hinging at the hips more. Or if you want to relax the head and just let the head reach toward the shin, you can do that as well. Letting this be your practice. So anything that feels intuitively right to your body. And if you're feeling this pretty deeply, just letting that be your cue to deepen the breath. Even if you're not feeling this deeply, deepening the breath, coming back. Then you can plant your hands down around the front foot if they're not there already. Step your left toes back and then your right toes back to meet them. In a plank position, move through a flow of your choice, and we'll meet in a downward facing dog. Always option to skip the flows as well. Just feeling the difference in the sides of your body right now before we even out. So as you're ready, raising your left leg back and up, keeping the hips square for now, reaching the energy through the heel of the foot. Nice stretch down the back of the right leg as well. And bend your knee in toward the chest, shift shoulders over wrists. Let the foot come to the top of your mat between the hands, maybe assisting with your left hand. And adjusting your stance as you need to, just maybe rocking yourself forward and back, just finding that sweet spot, the right distance between your feet. And then root down into your right hand underneath your shoulder. Inhale, left arm out to the side and up to your lunge twist. Lifting up and out of your right wrist and your right shoulder. Twisting from your navel, pulling into the spine. Maybe the heart comes a little closer toward the ceiling. Lifting the back of your back knee. Breathing. And exhale, release that arm down. Step your back foot into warrior one legs. And we'll rise up on an inhale to warrior one. Hips square to the front. Maybe hands stay on the hips. Or maybe they reach up to the ceiling at some point. Breathing here. Tailbone tucking down, inner thighs feeling like they're magnetically pulled toward each other as the feet feel like they're dragging away. And then slowly begin to straighten out your front leg just by reaching through the sole of that foot. Your left leg, sorry. Hands come to the hips. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, hinge forward, pyramid pose. Same options on this side. Hands can stay here. They can come to the blocks or to the floor. Adjusting your stance as you need to in this moment. And knowing that the flexibility can change moment to moment, never mind day to day. So trusting where you are in this moment. Not pulling yourself to be where you were yesterday or the day before. Letting yourself be exactly where you are. Maybe your heart is reaching more toward the shin. Maybe the forehead releases. Wherever you are, that left hip keeps pulling back. You keep feeling the space from the heel through the left sit bone. A few more breaths here. Plant your hands down around your front foot. Step your right toes back. Left toes come back to meet it in plank. Move through a flow of your choice, and we'll meet in a down dog. Take 3 big exhales in your down dog. Just let it all go. And then this time, we'll start to walk the hands back to meet the feet. Moving in a cat-like motion from the shoulders. Halfway lift as you inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, reach up. And exhale, hands to heart. Pausing here, letting the eyes be gently closed. Letting the blood just settle here. As you're ready, inhale, the arms reach up. Exhale, hinge at the hips, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Plant the hands down, walk the hands forward. You can either come right into your down dog or into plank and move through a flow. It's up to you. We'll meet in a downward facing dog. Once you arrive, no rush, we'll raise the right leg back and up. And exhale to point the toes, stack the hips, and bend the knee. So not caring too much about keeping the hips square this time, just letting the hips be fluid, opening up as much as they can. Maybe they don't even open up much at all, but just feeling what that sensation would feel like if you were to stack your right hip on top of your left. And then rooting down a little extra into your right hand, so squaring the shoulders off to the mat. Feeling how that little twist in the torso. Nice stretch down the inside of your left leg. And then level out the hips, reach that leg long as you inhale. And exhale, bend the knee into the chest and step it through to the top of your mat. Pivot your back foot to warrior two legs and inhale, rise up, warrior two. Front knee is reaching toward the front pinky toe. Arms are reaching from the heart. Gaze is soft or the eyes are closed over the front fingertips. Shoulder blades drawing together down the back as the hands reach further away. Tailbone reaching straight down, navel pulling in, crown of the head lifting straight up. Rooting down in the outside edge of your back foot, four corners of both feet. Maybe lifting the toes of both feet, feeling that really activate. And then letting the toes grip down. Sinking in. Inhale as you slowly straighten out your front leg and reach both arms up. And exhale, back warrior two. We'll do that a few more times. Flying your warrior. Inhale, reaching and straightening. And exhale, settling, deepening. Let's do it 3 more times with your own breath. I encourage you to move slower than you might want to at first. And just envision yourself moving in water, maybe closing the eyes and just seeing and feeling the water just moving around the fingertips as you do this swimming-like motion through the air. Do one more. And then inhale, reach and straighten. Bring both your feet parallel to each other, toes facing your left. Hands can come to the hips as you inhale, lift your heart up. And then exhale, hinge at the hips to your wide-legged forward fold. Letting yourself fall wherever you naturally do. Then let the arms release if that feels better. Same thing as in forward fold. So shifting your weight more toward the balls of the feet, micro bend in the knees, lifting your hips high. And letting the muscles of the face release, the forehead and the eyebrows become heavy. Finding some stillness here. Two more really deep and full exhales. very slowly, you can start to bring yourself back up to stand however is comfortable. I like to just walk the hands up the legs. Just gently bring yourself back up and pause at the top. Let the eyes close, bring one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart. Let the blood just settle back in. There's no need to move too quickly here. And then when you feel ready, you can pivot back to face the front of your mat. Bring your hands down to frame that front foot. Hop up to the back toes, step back to your plank. Move through a flow if you would like to, and we'll meet in a downward facing dog. Just letting it all go here. And then as you're ready, we'll move through that on the other side. Inhaling the left leg back and up. Exhale to point the toes, stack the hips, and bend the knee. And same thing over here. So finding any movements that feel good if you want to. And maybe not getting your hip completely stacked on top of the right, but seeing what that would feel like. Squaring off the shoulders to the mat and trying to square your hips to your left. And then level out the hips, reach the leg long as you inhale. And exhale, knee comes into the chest and step it through to the top of your mat. Inhale, rise up, warrior two. Just checking in with your stance here as you arrive. Front knee stays over the front ankle, but feeling like it's reaching toward the pinky toe as the left hip tucks under. Lifting the toes, really activating the four corners of the feet, and the arms reaching from your heart center. Maybe the palms face away from you, feeling how this stretches the muscles around the heart. Or maybe the fingers reach long, whatever feels best. You roll out the wrists. And then inhale, straighten out the leg, reach the arms high. And exhale back. So same thing over here, just moving at your own pace. I encourage you to move a little bit slower. Maybe closing the eyes. Really just feeling the power of this pose each time you settle into it. Let's do two more. And then inhale, straighten and reach. Turn your toes to face the right side of your mat. Maybe bringing them in slightly or out slightly. Hands can come to the hips as you inhale, heart lifts. Actually, if you want to, let's take a shoulder stretch. So you can interlace the hands behind your back and just pull the fists toward the ground, letting that lift the heart toward the ceiling. And then exhale, leading with the heart hinge forward, letting the fists just drag you forward a little bit more. Really nice shoulder stretch. If this feels awful, just skip it. You can release the hands whenever you want to. But maybe slightly bend the arms so that you really feel the elbows coming together and the shoulder blades coming together. And you want the heels of your hands to touch. If they don't touch, you can always grab opposite elbows or grab the shirt, anything at all. And again, you can release the arms whenever you feel ready. Shifting the weight toward the balls of the feet. Lifting the hips high. Letting the torso and the head be heavy. Maybe you walk the hands in between the legs, reaching toward the left side of your mat. Maybe you grab the ankles with the hands. An option to find some movement if you'd like, or staying in the stillness. If you want some movement, you can take turns bending each leg and just letting your torso rock in sort of a figure 8 shape as you just take turns shifting the hips, bending each leg, getting deeper into the opposite straight leg. And then maybe finding a little bit more stillness for your last 3 exhales. Seeing how deep you can release into this pose. And then gently, you can start to make your way back up to standing, maybe walking the hands, the legs, pausing at the top, bring a hand to the belly and a hand to the heart. Allow everything to settle. When you're ready, turning back, facing the front of your mat. Hands can come down to frame your front foot. Lift the back heel. Step back to a plank. Move through a flow. If you would like, our final flow, and then we'll meet in a downward facing dog. Once you're in your down dog, just slowly bend the knees, allow them to find the mat. Untuck the toes and sit the hips down on the heels into child's pose. If you want the focus of this stretch to be your spine, you can bring your toes together and your knees together. Maybe the arms reach forward for some more length, or maybe they reach back behind you for a little more passive action in the shoulders, or even stacking underneath the forehead for a little extra support. If you want to focus more on your hips in this stretch, just leave your toes together and bring your knees as wide as your mat. Letting the torso fall in between the thighs, and deeper into the hips. Trusting whatever your first instinct was, staying there. Letting the breath slow down, deepen. Maybe you rock your head side to side, massaging the forehead. Allow your jaw to hang heavy. Allow everything to let go. Take a few more breaths here. Allowing your hips to be heavy, sinking closer to the heels. And next inhale, as you're ready, you can start to either walk your hands back to the hips or root the tops of your hands into the mat. And just bring yourself to a seat on your ankles. Pause for a moment here. And then let your hips shift off to the right as you bring both of your hands off to the left. Just feeling this gentle stretch down the back, right side of the body. And then bring yourself back to center. And then take that to the other side. So both hands come to the right as you let the hips dip off to the left. Stretch on the back left side of your back. And then from here, just sit down on the left side. Bring your legs out long in front of you. And you can scoot yourself to the center of your mat if you're not there. A little off center. Just shake out the legs. Shake out the hands. And we're just going to do some tapping motions just to bring more blood flow to the different parts of our body. So we'll start with the collarbone. So just take the fingertips, tapping the collarbones. And let your eyes close as you do this. And don't think about it too much at all. And just tap where it feels good, wherever the hands want to go. So practice just letting go of control and allowing your hands to tap anywhere at all. Maybe they travel up to the throat, maybe they come onto the face, tapping gently, bringing some more blood flow to the skin. Maybe they come to the scalp. Keeping your breath steady as you do this. Maybe coming down to the shoulders. You can take turns tapping each arm, using the whole hand on the bigger areas of the body. Armpit and the chest. Other arm. These are just options. Just tap anywhere you want to. Back, hips, the belly, and legs. And then coming to the legs, stopping the tapping when you're ready. If you want to keep going, you're welcome. And we're just going to do some squeezing. So bring the thumbs to the hip crease and the fingertips behind the hip crease. And just squeeze here. And continue this squeezing, just down the legs, down the thighs. And again, moving intuitively here too. So you don't have to think about this. Just give yourself some love. Squeeze the thighs, squeeze the hips. And maybe you have some knots in these places, so you can linger wherever it needs a little bit more attention. And coming to the ankles feels really nice, at least on my feet, to just grab right underneath the ankle bones, the thumbs on the inside, pointers on the outside, and just squeezing there. And then coming up behind the ankle bones, and this squeezing here. And then let's give the feet some love. So squeeze each toe individually. Taking your time on a toe if it feels extra good. And then squeezing the feet all together. I believe they're somewhat clean. And then maybe we just had a lot of built up energy there in the tapping and the squeezing. So let's just swipe it all away. Swiping it away from the feet. Anything that came up that doesn't serve you, just pushing it away from every point on the body. So swiping the thighs, the shins. And swiping the arms as well. Shoulders, face even. And as you're doing this, just seeing the stagnant energy leave your body. Or imagining that you could see. Can't quite see it. Okay. And then let's just sit in that stillness. So we can sit however is comfortable, maybe bending, maybe an easy pose or the legs extended. And just sit in this moment. Allow everything to settle. Allow the jaw to hang heavy, the forehead and the eyebrows to soften and expand. And hug the knees closer to the body. Just give yourself a nice big hug here, tucking the chin toward the chest, holding the pelvic floor up toward the navel. Feeling a nice curl in the spine. Navel sits back toward the spine, the heart curls back. Feeling this perfect circle you're making with the body. And however your circle looks is perfect. And then grab the fronts of the shins, and as you inhale, pull your heart forward and through. Pull the shoulder blades together and down the back. Tilt the pelvic floor away from the navel, getting a slight push in the low back. Then exhale, slightly straighten out the arms, curl the heart back, tuck the chin, pelvic floor comes up to the navel. And then inhaling forward. So just doing these seated cat-cows a few times. Inhaling the heart through, exhaling, curling the heart back. And next exhale, just start to walk your hands down your thighs and bring yourself down to lay on your back. Hugging the knees into the chest when you arrive. Maybe just sitting in the stillness or rocking gently side to side, massaging the low back against the mat. If you want to stay with this action, you can do that. Or if you'd like to bring the soles of your feet to the ground and the soles of the feet as wide as your mat, take a few windshield wipers with the knees back and forth, massaging the glutes, releasing the low back. Hands can rest wherever they're comfortable. And then just allow both of your knees to fall off to the right next time they're there. And bring your right ankle on top of your left knee. Feeling this internal rotation in your left hip, external rotation in the right. Slide your ankle off of the knee, bring the knees back up to center, take that to the other side. Knees falling off to the left, and then bringing your left ankle on top of the right knee. Internally rotating the right hip, externally rotating the left hip. Releasing the foot from the knee, bringing the knees back to center, and letting both knees fall in toward each other. Internally, slightly internally rotating both hips. And feel your low back flat against the mat, closer to the mat. From here, reach both of your feet up toward the ceiling. Take them out. Just let them rest in the hip sockets. If you want to take legs up wall for your shavasana or for your pre-shavasana, you may do so. Coming up to a wall and just letting the legs rest off the wall. Or just resting here. And then bringing the arms up to do the same as you're ready. Allowing the four corners of your torso to be pinned against the mat by the weight of your limbs and gravity. Feeling the blood rushing to the shoulders, rushing to the hips. Maybe staying in the stillness for more moments if you really like this. Whenever you're ready, you can come into a happy baby. Grabbing whatever's available, outside edges of the feet, big toes, the ankles, the thighs. Wherever you are, just plugging the shoulders back into place, bringing the shoulders to the ground, bringing the hips to the ground. Maybe rocking side to side. Maybe taking turns, straightening each leg. Just letting your body move however it wants to move. As you're ready, soles of the feet can find each other, and you slowly lower the outside edges of the feet to find the mat beneath the hips. Knees fall off to the sides. Option 2, roll the sit bones under, roll the shoulders under, palms facing up by your sides. Just letting yourself settle. You can stay here if you love this pose. It feels really good right now. Leave the hands where they are. Maybe you bring the hands to the body, anywhere that feels right. And if you'd like to, whenever you're ready, you can straighten out the legs, coming into your final Shavasana. And the feet fall wherever they naturally do. Releasing any sense of holding the body. Relaxing the jaw, forehead, the eyebrows. Relaxing the eyelids. Letting the shoulders be heavy into your mat. Feeling the collarbones broaden. Feeling your heartbeat, tuning into your own heartbeat. Feeling the rhythm of your individual heartbeat. Feeling that pulse running throughout the entire body. From the arms into the hands, the torso into the belly, pelvic floor and the glutes. Releasing all the muscles in the legs. Pulse rushing down the legs into the soles of your feet and each of your 10 toes. The body pulsing from the toes all the way to the very tip or the crown of your head. Resting in this total body awareness for a few more moments. If you would like to stay here, you're welcome to do so for as long as you need. Pause this video or just close the laptop and allow yourself to rest. If you'd like to start to make your way out of this pose, allow my voice to guide you. Deepening the breath, energizing the body, With each inhale, hauling air back into the body. Wiggling the toes and the fingers, maybe rocking the head side to side. Reaching the arms overhead to a nice morning stretch. Maybe letting out a nice yawn. Hugging the knees toward the chest as you feel ready. And just finding yourself to a fetal position on one side. And no rush on any of this. And slowly beginning to push your top hand into the ground, finding your way back up to your seat. Just leaving your eyes closed for now. And bring your hands to heart center. First off, just slowly and deeply thanking yourself for your practice today. May this practice continue to heal you throughout the rest of your days. May you bring some of this love and light to everyone in your own lives. Namaste.